What's up YouTube, Capital G here, checking out a brand new Predaplant Link monster that just got revealed. This is coming out of the Link Frames Pack 3. It is Predaplant Verte Anaconda. It's a Link 2 Dark Plant monster, of course, because it's a Predaplant. It requires 2 effect monsters, so technically like any deck in Yu-Gi-Oh! Can kind of make this card. You got a hard once per turn on your first and second effects, but you can stack them in the same turn. Your first effect says you can target one face-up monster on the field. It becomes Dark Attribute for the rest of this turn. Second effect, pay 2,000 life points, then send one Polymerization Normal or Quick Play spell, or one Fusion Normal or Quick Play spell from your deck to the graveyard. That is all it costs. This effect becomes the same as when that spell is activated. Also, you cannot special summon monsters for the rest of this turn. Okay, so Predaplant Anaconda lets you do some pretty damn derpy things, like activating super polymerization straight from your deck, which is pretty damn unheard of. We all know how powerful and popular super polymerization is right now in Yu-Gi-Oh! And being able to use it without even drawing the card, that's like mind-blowing. Now, one of the things that people have to understand about this card is I believe that it's almost identical to something like Destiny Hero Diamond Dude. You're not actually activating the card itself, you're activating the effect of the card, and that means that you do not have to pay costs when you activate the effects of those cards. So for instance, if you were going to use super polymerization from your deck, you would not have to discard a card. If you wanted to use instant fusion from your deck, you would not have to pay an additional 1,000 life points, and that can definitely come in handy. I think the first effect, it feels like it's almost designed specifically to work with like super polymerization, because obviously all the Predaplant fusion monsters, they require dart monsters as part of like their materials. A lot of times they require dart monsters on the field, so that opens up the door to, you know, I guess turn your opponent's monster, if it's not a dart monster, into one, so that you can just super poly with it or something like that and go into one of your Predaplant monsters a little easier. I wish that this card did not have that condition where you can't special summon anymore after you kind of fusion summon. I feel like that kind of sucks. I think you know, Konami wanted to balance it, obviously, but I feel like it should have locked you into like fusion monsters coming out of your extra deck for like the remainder of the turn. That would have still made it so your opponent couldn't do any derpy like crazy things, but in Predaplants, like, they still would have been able to do a lot of what they want to do. I feel like this card might not even be all that played in Predaplants, because when you look at it through the lens of like the Predaplant archetype, I feel like it really doesn't do all that much for them. I mean, yes, it does allow them to use their fusion cards from the deck, but I don't know, I just feel like any deck can kind of take advantage of that, not necessarily just Predaplants. I feel like it doesn't really give them more consistency, or, you know, kind of help with like their early game to turns when, you know, they've bricked and stuff like that. I feel like it doesn't really fix a lot of their core problems. It just gives them a little more playmaking, but it kind of gives a lot of decks playmaking. Like if you have 2 monsters and you're playing super poly in your deck, or you're playing things like instant fusion or polymerization, you know, I guess you can technically play this card and you won't even have to pay the cost with some of those other cards. So this is a card that, it's okay. It, you know, it allows you to do some derpy stuff, and we're all about derpy stuff on this channel. So you guys let me know what you think of the new Predaplant Anaconda, allowing you to use super polymerization and things like instant fusion from your deck. Pretty cool indeed. Whatever you guys think, leave it in the comment section below. Thank you guys for watching. As always, subscribe if you have not already, and turn on that notification bell for daily videos.